Okay, we're looking at Piero della Francesca's double portrait of Battista Sforza
on the
left, and Federico da Montefeltro on the right from 1465.
The Duke and Duchess of Urbino.
The Duke and Duchess of Urbino, yes. And
I think that they're not very attractive. Is that a bad thing to say?
That's not a bad thing to say, is it?
Although,
they are, because they might be very distinctive in the way that they might not be attractive.
In their features?
For example, this might not be the most attractive nose, for example.
No. And her high forehead, which I think today seems a little strange to us, but what in the Renaissance was considered very beautiful.
Very fashionable way to have your hair.
Yeah, I think women plucked their foreheads, didn't they?
Yes, yes.
Which is creepy.
Battista seems to have a lot of things which show us how fashionable she is, doesn't she?
She does.
Headdress with jewels at the top.
Yeah. And a very fancy hair ribbon thing going on.
Her necklace.
Pearls and gems.
Necklace, the fabric of her clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Federico seems to be adorned in this contemporary Florentine hat, red robe. We seem to be focusing much more on his face over here on the right, and these distinctive features, which we get because Piero has set these figures in perfect, precise profile for us.
Yeah, and that was kind of the standard in the early Renaissance for the portrait. You know, when they start doing portraits again, because they, of course, in the Middle Ages, they didn't do portraits.
Right.
Because individuals weren't important, but when they start doing portraits again, this is the form that they take, this profile pose.
It makes them seem kind of aloof.
And very sort of powerful, I think, kind of. What do you think?
I think powerful, yes. The perfect profile gives them a kind of solidity and stability in its perfection. It makes them seem powerful or conveys their power.
And it gives them a kind of timelessness, too, I think, like a figure and profile on a coin.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And the way they're set, this landscape that they're set against seems so distant. It makes them seem a little bit bigger to me, since this landscape is so small, minuscule. They seem to be towering over it.
Yeah, they look very powerful, sort of like landowners or aristocracy, and I think they are. Right?
And we get to see so much of it because of the nice recession into space that Piero has laid out for us. We go from hill to hill to hill to this nice atmospheric perspective, which takes us
it's beautiful.
As far back as we can want to go.
So not everyone got their portrait painted, of course, in the early Renaissance.
That's right.
And so if you were going to do it, you dressed up.
You would want to be in your finery, I suppose, yes.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to, be in your pajamas watching TV or something.
She had already passed away also when this was painted.
Ah, so this is a posthumous portrait.
So, of Battista. I believe that this was meant to commemorate her after she has passed away. So she would want to be made up for that way of looking at her, remembering her. I know that he had an injury to this nose, and I don't know if what we're looking at with this very distinctive bridge is the injury itself, or maybe, I know that we're seeing an injury which is hidden from us. He had lost an eye, so we turned him in that direction. Sword fight. I don't know if this is a distinctive trait
or from the injury.
From the injury itself as well. But as an imperfection over here, which lets us know about him, lets us know exactly what he looked like, whereas she seems to be a little bit more timeless, more
sort of generalized.
Yeah.
And idealized, maybe.
There's less modeling on her face than him.
And that profile pose has a kind of stiffness to it
does.
And a kind of rigidity. And we don't learn very much about who they are.
No.
I mean, we kind of know about his distinctive features, but we don't really sense who they are as people.
What they look like and what their social rank is, but not who they are as people. Right?
And these would have been hung in their homes as a kind of sign of their status and of their family's status. But there's no interest in them as human beings. Really.
No. That they can afford to have Piero paint these, though. That's another sign of their status, I suppose, also.
That's true, but soon Leonardo is going to come along and turn his figure a little bit more frontal and include the hands in the Mona Lisa, and a whole new kind of portrait would be born.
Very, very different.